sleep on tea. If you learn anything from this podcast, do not sleep on
Don't
tea.
sleep on fucking tea at all.
Don't sleep on tea.
Get it misconstrued.
Got some nice little lines over there.
Little Taylor. Oh, we good? Are we rolling? All right, man. Listen, episode 87, man. MIC podcast, community content, and possible sinus infections. We're back. We're in the building, man. Yeah, you know the duo is back. We're here with the master in creation, with Shaken Brother.
We're back, baby.
Yes, sir.
Back,
So
baby.
what's up, man?
Yeah.
Got the brand on the chest there and on the wall. You know what I mean? Doubled up.
Yeah, I'm super dressed down. You know.
Yeah, no, chill.
I need to figure out what my outfit is for tonight, though.
Facts,
I've never
yeah,
worked
yeah.
in sounds. Going.
This is like the preload fit.
It sounds.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is a calm fit, for later. I
Definitely.
think then you get some like new pants.
Nah, facts.
But yeah, no, I'm excited.
Where you wanna start, man? A lot of moving parts in life.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, you just want to start. I mean, well, I actually do want to take this time to let people know that we moved. Well, I moved and collectively we moved, but the old apartment where, again, people were trusting enough to, come and just accept invitations from me to go to a random address on a podcast, man. We ended up moving, from that apartment. And I just definitely want to thank everyone who was even open, to that. Cause like it wasn't any, these people did not know me before. They had no reason to, just give me the blind faith. And again, visiting my apartment, you know what I mean? And it wasn't the best, set up, but we did make it work. And end of an era, man. Like at House of Podcast for like the better part of a year, So it was, so.
I want to double down on that. Like thank you, again to everybody that was, willing to go ahead and do that. And rock with us, in there, and shout out to you, for like, surviving that, era, that apartment, for sure. Absolutely.
Because it was surviving.
Yeah, surviving.
It wasn't
it was surviving. We were surviving out here. But yeah, like it's crazy now to like officially like be able to look back, think, and say that like, your apartment was, the beginning of the Masters of Creation podcast for the most part.
Yeah, right.
And then, the short stint when we had, at my ex's place before that. And then, my apartment that I'm now moved out of. We're not going to tell you our address.
Yeah. Facts.
But we moved into a very, 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 very nice
upgrade.
2-bed, 2-bath, apartment, that's, extremely nice, better than both situations that we were in.
Tell me, bro.
Yeah. And then like, my apartment was, the scene on of the You and I video.
Dog.
And your apartment had the hit video, the outro video.
No, man, not bro.
The grow video.
Oh, shut up.
So much. But we utilized the shit. Like we fully utilized what we had, like literally to the fullest extent.
For real, man.
To the fullest extent. We squeezed every ounce of value that were within those apartments.
Absolutely.
Which is I think just like what we've just been doing in life, since we were here, just squeezing every little drop that we can out of the opportunities that we're given. But like we are in a very blessed location, in a very blessed place. I couldn't ask for anything more than what we have right now. It's been 4 days, 5 days, something like that, but it's already
it feels like the forever home.
Right.
My forever home.
My forever. I found it. Wow. And like how long will we be there for? Don't know.
Who knows,
but
man.
for as long as we are going to be there, like everything else, squeeze out every bit of value that we can, and we've already started, to do so.
Yeah.
And we already see the value of what we do and have outdoor space, which is so nice. It's nice to be, where we're at right now, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So
again, man, thank you to everybody who, who came through, and, it's much appreciated, and gonna keep this thing pushing, man. But honing in on you, bro, again, just with you specifically, a whole other slew of artist talk events, you know what I mean? You're also working on music. You just, I love you, man, bro. You just dropped another visual, hard.
Yeah, fact.
Lost 40 pounds on top of that.
Yeah, fact.
Making niggas look bad out here, Bro, so, like, we have to break that down. So, it's like, even, like, starting with artist talk, man, like, it's kind of like winding down, right? Like, you're coming up on, like, the last
Still,
couple of
yeah. Then the last one is I'm pretty sure open invite party.
Dope. Okay, yeah.
People to come and
Nice.
and celebrate what we've been able to achieve.
Yeah.
Through all of it. But yeah, like I told you, before this episode, I went back and I looked at our last episode to see where we're at that time, and it was right after the first Artist Talk event, and I kind of understood what it was at that time, but wow, like the blessing that has been. It's been a monthly cohort meeting where we come together, we learn something new, we collaborate with ideas, we talk about what we learned here, share, just network. We have a chef that comes and cooks for us every single time. The first time, we had drinks, and it's just such a loving and caring space. We've had, multiple people from the cohort already on the podcast.
Yeah, fact.
More to come, in the future. It's just been, dude, it's been so amazing to be able to have those group of people. And shout out to Dr. Timbo, who is the therapist that is there at every event. So we, get together, we network, we eat, we share, we, converse. And then afterwards, we all sit into a circle or, just, within a group. And, we talk about, mental health, with a therapist with her doctorate.
Yeah, right.
Sitting there right with us,
Right.
guiding us through the entire session. And I've seen myself grow within those sessions, which even led to me to finally also having healthcare helps. I just had my first, video session with a therapist.
Beautiful.
10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Prior to this. And that was absolutely amazing. I look forward to continuing that as well. So it's opened up so many things for me. And then, even at the last Artist Talk, sitting there talking to one of the girls, and she was like, why you been, shirtless, in your recent videos and stuff.
Where are your fabrics at? On the upper half of your body.
Where's the shirtless, been coming in? And I told her, I was like, yeah, I lost, all this weight, and I'm finally in a space again where I feel comfortable with my body.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, I'm making a video for that to release it. And I'm like, man, let me just fucking go edit that. I had the footage already, and I'm like, let me just go fucking home and edit it. And it drove me.
Spurred.
Oh, yeah. And I went home that day and edited the entire video.
Why?
Yeah, and then released it 4 or 5 days later. But it's just because I need to be around those spaces where I truly get driven, and I truly get, pushed to be myself and be creative and get things done. When you're in just different environments or just around people that aren't on that mindset, even just me being able to say my ideas, it gets me excited about it. I'm like, I'm like, no, let me go do that.
There's something to that too, just even saying an idea, just like kind of to your point, about being around people that are in that same, wavelength. Just even saying ideas around people that aren't on that same, it just, I don't know about you, but I've always found a certain hesitancy to be but I don't want this. They may not be receptive.
Yeah, no, they're not going to be at all.
Yeah.
Now I know who's going to be absolutely not receptive.
Yeah, right.
I'm in a non-receptive space right now, so it's just, I'm not going to talk to you guys about shit,
Right.
not later, not a fucking thing.
I feel that.
About anything.
Yeah. No, I know. I feel you.
And I have a lot going on, and that's, feel bad for you, because I have a lot to be able to share, what I mean? A lot to, talk about, a lot to inspire with, but unfortunately, I don't feel comfortable sharing with any of you.
I've more recently, kind of reached that point where just it's not even I just know that it's almost like wasting breath. It's just there's no point even.
It's not going to inspire. It's going to do the opposite of it.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, it almost kind of makes people insecure. I'm not talking about anyone specific here, but just in scenarios I've seen, people kind of clam up when they hear something that's or someone so passionate about,
so awe-inspiring, something so inspirational and passionate, because you don't have that going on with yourself.
Exactly.
So it's just, I'm the opposite. Whenever I hear somebody talk about that, I'm like, oh, that just rises me. I'm like, oh, let's go. I gotta work on that one thing, when I get home, and I had a conversation, and I won't get too specific because it might, figure out who's what, doing what. But, I was having a conversation with, an artist, and he's talking about, releasing this thing, and he's just pushing it back further and further. He's pushing back. I'm like, dog, let's go. I'm not trying to say nothing, but I'm trying to say, I've been putting out content weekly for years now. Bro, it's time, and you haven't released one thing in years. It's time.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. You know what I mean? you either get shrunk by the stuff like that, or you allow that stuff to push you. If I was him, man, I'm going home and releasing that video that day.
Yo, bro, facts.
Yeah, like I went home and I edited that video that day.
Facts.
No hesitation.
And it's like, you know, it takes everyone's journey is their own, man. So like it takes people time to like, you know, get to certain points, like, you know, realize certain things, man. But again, just being around people that are in that same vein or just like, you know, kind of on that same path, bro, like that would get me charged up. If like another dude who is at that like way of like saying like, yo, bro, like, you know, like I'll be like, shit, fuck yeah, like let me get on my shit. Like
I think that's personally where the excuses stop. Is whenever you're in that group.
Yeah, facts.
You know, whenever you're by yourself, man, it's so hard. I get it. I get it when it can be hard to be motivated, especially if you're in a space that's opposite, you know, a space that's like very demeaning and very non-supportive. And, you know, I get it. But then whenever you're around that group and you're around people, there's zero excuse. If people are reaching their hand out and you're not grabbing, there's no excuse. That's on you, you know, and that's where you need to find that in yourself. But what's wrong with you that you're not saying there's just grabbing the hand, you know, to move forward, you know, that's completely on you, you know. So that's why I get on him so much. I'm like, are you not seeing everybody else in here that hear what we're doing?
Yeah, facts.
And you have us, like, let's go, it's time, let's go, you know. So
is there anything from like this, like a last, you know, like little powwows that just kind of, because like I remember just like even from like one specific one, like you said, like the word aesthetics, like, you know, like you kind of took away from that session. So like, is there anything else that like you've kind of incorporated into what you're doing now, or just like that you've seen elevate since like the last sessions?
Yeah, I mean, even like in the therapy session, I said, you know, the word boundaries really stuck out to me, and I started working on boundaries within, you know, certain relationships and certain aspects and certain things, you know what I mean, in my life, and I really started working with that. Pay attention, you know, more to that aesthetic. I'm gonna start allowing people more access to like different aspects of my life, you know.
Were you closing like a mop before, or?
No, but like I have it saved, you know, on my phone. I have a post prepared, you know what I mean, to just like, we need a common understanding of who I am and what I've been able to accomplish and what I do. We need a common understanding needs to be established.
Got to find a common ground.
We got to find a little common understanding. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting on that, you know, and I'm working. That's something I'm gonna be working, you know, with my therapist. I was just like being able to like feel comfortable without like comfortable saying who I am without it coming across like braggadocious or coming across like angry. You know what I mean?
To your credit, I mean, just like I personally haven't seen them, but you said you've had your angry moments. I don't think you've ever come across that way. You know what I mean? Just like even in your moments of,
and maybe it's in my mind too that I think that I come across, you know, certain.
Like I was and
that's part of what I need to work on is like understand that I'm not coming across that way. So I should feel comfortable.
That's what
you know, with saying, you know, and you know, do, you know, whatever. But yeah, it's just like just being in those sessions just alone. It just put a different understanding with me in gaining. Now it's funny because on the last podcast we were talking about, I was like, I think it's Sydney. I mean, yes, Sydney.
Yeah,
fantastic woman in the city, extremely accomplished. Niplids, owner of Niplids, owner of Artist Talk. Extremely accomplished woman. Someone who, if you are anybody who is an entrepreneur, especially a female entrepreneur in the city, please, you need to figure out who this is.
Absolutely.
You need to figure out what she got going on, you know, because this is somebody who you want to be around, someone who you can learn from, someone who is, you know, inspiring, you know, to be around.
Absolutely.
You know, so just, you know, being around that. And again, with my understanding, and I'm comfortable saying this, I know I'm closer to her mindset and what she's accomplished and does, you know what I mean, than anything that she's trying to help out with, you know? So I'd really like to, you know, eventually after this cohort's done, for us to, you know, sit down as leaders, you know, plural, you know, and figure out what we can do, you know, to make sure that, because I think that we have a very, 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 very similar mission, you know, and, you know, we're interconnected in many different ways that, you know, we find out, you know, as time goes on. And, you know, I think that we'd be able to accomplish, you know, a lot.
Would like, let's like, in like what areas, like, do you think y'all's collaboration would like benefit the most?
I don't want to go too deep into it.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah. But I think, I don't think there's, I think that if her and I were to get together and find a way to combine a lot of aspects of masters and creation and artist talk, or even just Sydney and Michael, you know, Sydney and the master and creation, that it's limitless.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's just one of those connections that it's just a limitless possibility of what we'd be able to achieve.
No,
You
definitely.
know, and it would all be positive achievement. You know, that would be non-demeaning. That would be, you know, forward thinking, forward moving. So
No, I feel it, man. So again, shout out to Artist Talk, man, and everything. That's an incredibly well-ran event, you know, just from the looks of it. I mean, yeah.
and everybody who's been assisting her too. You know, she's had, you know, a lot of
No,
support too,
absolutely.
and, you know, thank you for, you know, feeding into her and, you know, allowing her to, you know, be able to be herself and, you know, get her message and mission across.
Yeah, no, definitely a very well-ran event. Switching back to you, bro. Just again, man, you know, you're working. Have you announced it? Like no, yeah, you've announced that you're dropping dance.
I've announced that I'm dropping dance. I announced that it's coming out in June.
Kind of talk about, you know, just for, you know, anyone who may not know, obviously I've had a front row seat, but just, you know, kind of what's going into the project, what made you want to drop it, you know what I mean, and just like kind of like, you know, what the ingredients are that are going into this thing.
Yeah, dude. Like I was sitting on my back porch of my grandma's, you know, the Harrells, and I was just sitting there, and I was like, you know what? Like, I'm like showing my grandfather, you know, some of my songs, and I'm like, you know what? I really want to show my grandma some of these songs, and like I can't,
Yeah,
you know. And I was like, you know what? I want something that I could play for my entire family. I want something that I could play and anybody's allowed to listen to. It could be played anywhere. It could be played at concerts. It could be played in the shopping mall. It could be played in the barbershop. It could be played anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a very solid song that's, you know, friendly to everybody. And so I had the beat for the first song, and then me and Shrine got together, and he started, you know, like he always does whenever we're starting to do a fresh project, or just like something fresh, and he will show me every single beat, you know, that he has, and then once one connects to what I'm trying to do, then I'm like, okay, like let's work with this. So he was able to provide 2 beats for that project. We've been, you know, going to his, you know, place and getting this, you know, all created. It's a dance centric it's a dance centric project, and it's just meant to make you move. It's just meant to make you move. I think it achieves that goal. I have a collaboration with, you know, Kenny Stockard, you know, here in the city, a very well accomplished, you know, musician and artist here in the city. And our song is, you know, absolutely amazing. Going to be playing that tonight, you know, in the way that it's meant, you know, to sound, to get a little bit of practice with that. So I'm super excited about literally all 3 of the songs, you know, on this project. It's, I'm excited for this, and I learned from, you know, the 3-song project that I made with you and I, of that nice little package.
Yeah,
a nice little package. I want something that you listen
piecemeal, yeah.
And unlike you and I, it's not a story; it's a feeling. Whereas you and I was a feeling and a story.
Yeah, right.
You know, so I just wrote a story. And I was like, I want you to have this feeling, and I want this to be a positive feeling, because I want you to have mixed feelings with you and I. You intro with you, lovey dovey, yes, you know, and then conflict, turmoil, and then a little bit of serenity in me at the end, you know. Whereas this is just dance. I want you to dance. Press play and dance for 3 straight songs. I want you to dance, just move, you know,
and run it back.
Yeah, first song that's, you know, gonna be Latino, you know, music inspired. Speaking Spanish for the first time, you know, song simple, you know, going there, get my feet wet, you know, within it.
I don't think most people know like that you are bilingual in that regard. Like,
no, I mean, most people, again, there's certain things that I need to lay out so that we have a common understanding, you know. But yeah, most people, they don't know that I'm, you know, bilingual, you know, and that's my second language.
Yeah, first language. Yeah, facts.
I'm not Hispanic. I'm black and white. You know, nobody else in my family speaks Spanish. But yeah, no, I mean, I love that culture. Natalia Lafourcade is one of my favorite artists. Period. She's a Mexican folk singer.
Yeah, right.
I love all her projects, start to finish.
Did you listen to her like primarily in Spain when you were out there?
No, I found her off of an Anthony Fantano review.
Okay, yeah, I remember you telling me
Yeah.
about that. Yeah,
Anthony Fantano review.
yeah,
He doesn't speak Spanish. And he
yeah,
gave it
right.
a 10. And I
Wow.
was like, okay. So I listened to this project. I'm like, damn. And then last year, her new project, he gave it our album of the year. Out of his,
Damn,
list
okay.
of like top 50 albums
Damn,
that he felt of the year. So
it got the one spot.
yeah, I got the one.
Wow,
Yeah,
damn,
like, she's like that, bro. Like, she's
damn.
like that,
Okay,
to the point where if you don't even understand Spanish, you feel
yeah,
what the fuck she's saying,
Mhm.
straight up. And it's not like all like it's like kind of like you and I
Mm.
kind of stuff too. Like it's not like all supposed to make you just move.
Okay.
Whereas like a lot of like the
the bad
Spanish rappers and all this. Yeah,
which is right. Yeah,
no. Bad Bunny is praised for being the Drake of that category
Right,
because
facts. Yeah,
he could talk about the sad and talk
Yeah.
about the jumpy and talk about the good, the bad, all the above.
sure.
He talk about anything. He
Yeah.
talks about culture.
Yeah,
Whereas again, most of it is just
yeah, yeah, facts. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just
facts.
go. You just keep go. You know what I mean? Go.
Yeah.
You just keep going. So I love that she talks about like, love and loss and just good days and just feeling and just being and what humanity is for her.
Yeah.
I just love the different topics that she discusses and the instruments that she brings to it.
Yeah,
So this entire project, dude, I'm super excited about this, and now I'm on a timeline and to get this out because I'm not the type of artist that says like I'm gonna release this thing
And then
or
it,
like create this thing. I'm
no.
never really like I'm pissed at myself it wasn't released last week.
no facts, but life. I mean, it's life.
Yeah,
Life is also a factor.
yeah.
too.
Life is
On top of being
definitely a
an artist.
factor.
Yeah,
Definitely a
Right.
factor. So I'm adamantly trying to get that out as soon as possible, while also not rushing it and giving it the space and
Yeah.
time and energy that it deserves to.
No, I'm standing on this like little slogan this summer, bro. Summer is back, man.
Yeah.
And to be honest, bro, once that drops, it's really official.
Yeah.
Like we are outside for that.
Yeah.
Again, I've been able to catch the sneak peeks and
You might not know it's Toby, but he's in the ad-libs. Like I said,
if you know, you know.
a podcast ago, I was like, Toby, you're gonna be in most of the ad-libs for most of my songs moving forward.
Take it. I will take it.
You're on 2 of them. Are you on both? Yeah, you're on 2 of them. 2 out of 3.
Am I on?
Mhm.
Which other?
You girl, get on up.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Facts. Okay, yeah.
And then you got a ad-lib and a half in the.
No,
Oh,
I mean, bro, but just even in like, watching you just like kind of pick which parts, that call out at the end for that one, it's dumb. And summer is bad, like it's gonna be crazy. So like are you gonna drop any visuals for this, or like are you just gonna kinda let the songs
Any visuals?
Yeah.
I might film the video that was meant to be for Drunk
Oh.
for the first song.
Oh, interesting. Like how you gonna spend that? Like, so like are you just gonna pretty much take the concept?
I've told you, I don't want to go too deep into it, but
Okay.
I've told you what
Okay.
the concept. Cigar Lounge.
Okay, copy. But like that wasn't for drunk. I thought
It's very no. Drunk was very. I came up with 2 concepts for Drunk. There was an original one that stuck since the conception of Drunk, and then
And that's the one I'm familiar with. The initial conception, like it was just like a downtown. And like
no, that's the second one.
copy. Oh, okay.
That was the second rendition.
Okay.
That was like if I can't do this, I'm gonna do this.
Copy.
You know?
Yeah.
But no, I really wanted to do the first rendition. So I might be saving that for this. And
Mhm.
honestly, I would love there to be a video for all my songs.
Yeah.
Because I create my songs
With the video.
with life and video in mind, So I would love to make a video to all my songs. Finance and time aside, we'll see.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Are you gonna keep like with the 3-project theme, or like is there a full length on the horizon?
I don't know.
know.
I mean, I would love to do a full length, but again, it's just as of right now, it just comes down to time for me. And
Facts.
because a lot of people like also insight too is like a lot of my beats like I purchase off people, and I kind of just do the rest myself. Like I do all the mixing, I do everything myself from there on. I don't really do a lot of collaboration
Yeah.
at that point. So I'm now remembering how strenuous it is to
Yeah.
be working with somebody else and have to be on their time,
Yeah.
you know? And so I might get back to purchasing beats again and then just doing everything on my own again so that I can actually start releasing shit because I would love to. It's just, again, I don't want to be working on somebody else's time,
Yeah.
you know? And that's the only thing that's holding back this current project is I have to worry about somebody else's life and what's going on, you know, with them and
Facts. No,
find
yeah.
time and they don't live down the street,
Right.
you know? So
That's also like
Yeah.
just like kind of I definitely get that, but regardless, man, I'm excited. I feel like people who are fans of you are gonna be excited just for new music from you. I feel
Mhm.
like just like even like with like your names, on Spotify, just like even you seeing that like people be like, oh, he changed his name forward, like we're right back there. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna be good.
Well, that's another thing that has now changed since.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah, like
yeah.
it's official. Like you're
Yeah.
officially the mastering creation.
Yeah, while we're here live, let me check Apple. Apple, for anybody who doesn't know, and for artists, to give you a heads up, they are the slowest in making any changes. For a long time, I was
Yeah.
M.I.C
Mhm.
on
Mhm.
Apple,
Yeah.
and like that was a
Wow.
whole battle to get that changed. So let's see if they officially moved me over
Mhm.
to the mastering creation. No. All right. Yeah. So we're still here.
Mhm.
So Apple's the only one that's lagging behind right now, but every other site, including YouTube, I am the mastering creation. It always stood for that.
Yeah.
But for multiple reasons, that's what it is now fully as, on everything.
Facts.
And then, M.I.C, it's still the logo,
Mhm.
it's still the brand, the Masters in Creation Media is still the company. But yeah, I'm glad that I was able to finally,
Yeah,
get
facts.
that switched over. And yeah, so it's gonna be the first project that's gonna be coming out that's fully just the Master in Creation.
Facts. That's gonna
was
be
awesome.
hard, man. That's
Yeah.
gonna be dope. Want to talk about the hard music video?
Yeah.
And just like, I mean, so like, when you decided to do the video, is that when you were like, all right, like I got to get the weight off?
No. The me getting my weight off is what inspired the video. It was the opposite.
Okay.
I came out with hard and around the time that I was making that project is whenever I started working out at, Hurt Locker.
Yeah.
And again, I was 184 pounds at the time. And he has this, push sled. It was one of the first things that I like really loved doing at his gym. If anyway, it's just like a sled that you put, weight on top of it. And then you push it. He has turf, for you to be able to do so. So it glides on it. And I love doing that. And whenever I was doing it, I was like, this would be, and again, in collaboration, I'm making hard at the same time. I'm making menace.
Yeah, right.
This time, I was like, that'd be so hard. It was like, because I just heard that, because like hard has this like, just like, what's the word I'm looking for? March. Like a march feel to it, march sound, So I thought, the first shot that I knew was going to be in there, everything was based on the one shot. Everything was surrounded with the one shot, was that I want to be marching with just a significant amount of weight on it, pushing the sled, moving forward, and it's going to be hard. And I built everything around that.
Yeah.
And then as I'm losing the weight, everything happens when it's supposed to happen. So I just wasn't down, enough weight at that time, and I was still grinding, still putting in the work, still showing up weekly, working out, doing all that, losing my weight. And then, finally I got down to 149. I was like, it's time.
It's time, yeah.
It's time. It's time to tell the story, because now the story has been told. Now it's time to tell it,
How'd you turn, like, just like turn it up, like when you said like you didn't have enough weight off, like how it's like, what was the next gear that you went to?
Eating. I started, I was eating okay.
Yeah.
But I wasn't eating great.
Yeah.
Like I was eating okay. I was definitely eating okay.
Yeah.
But I wasn't eating great.
Yeah.
I was still, I'm trying to drink less beers too as like we're out, or like just have a beer in a mixed drink.
I feel you.
But it was just that eating, and I switched from eating ribeyes, which is a heavier fat content on a steak, to eating fillets, which is little to no fat content on the steak, and it's all protein essentially, so I started, doubling down the fillets on the salmon, pre-making my chicken, over the week, having that for lunch, instead. Everything I eat, I'm conscious about everything I eat. I know, is this bullshit? Or is this giving me protein? Is this giving me carbs? Is this giving me fiber? Is this giving me that? So I'm conscious about, I don't weigh it or measure it, but I know exactly what I'm eating now moving forward. And then I started lifting heavier weight too.
Right, yeah.
Started getting the heavier weight, which started burning, more, fat on me too.
Do you, with like the heavier weight, do you do, because like you said, like you're doing like 8 reps? There's like 8 to 10 reps?
Yeah, so what Christian recommended to me was that I have one workout, like one thing within my workout that I'm only trying to get to like 4 to 6 reps.
Okay.
And then everything else I could do like 8 to 10. But, and I will transition into that. What I've been doing is I'll do 12, 10, 8, 4 to 6. So whenever on that last set, when my body's already exhausted, it's already, done these 3 other sets, I'm putting max weight on that bitch, and I'm trying to move that bitch.
Okay, so like you do 12 for the first 2.
First one. So let's say I'm doing rows. So first set 12.
Okay.
Second set 10.
Okay.
Third set 8.
8, and then
last one 4 to 6.
But it's dumb heavy.
But it's dumb heavy.
Gotcha. Okay.
Dumb heavy. Like I gotta move that bitch.
Yeah,
so the more that I need to move that bitch, the much better it's gonna be for you.
Yeah.
You're burning way more fat. You're building way more muscle. And you're actually doing the work. And it all just comes back to that this concept of hard. I was born broke. Ain't have no money. This is no joke. Nothing really funny. But now I'm big dog. Like I wasn't born like I was born broke.
Yeah, right.
I started out overweight. It requires hard work. So, and if something is not hard, you're not doing it.
Yeah.
It has to be hard. If you want the results, and that goes for anything in life. If you want the result that you want, it has to be hard. If it's easy, you're never going to achieve what you want. You're not doing the thing.
Yeah.
You think you're doing the thing, you're not. And even if you are, like, first off, do the thing. Do the thing. But it's what's going to take you 3 years would take somebody who's going through the hard path 1 year. So you're just elongating your time. The longer that you take to get to the thing, the more you get in your mind, the more anxiety you build over it, the more you're like, am I going to achieve this? If you just go through the hard thing initially and you just keep going through the hard path, you're going to get there much quicker.
Yeah, facts. No, I feel like that's like a good, just central theme for that video. Again, if you have not checked it out, Hard, the Mastering Creation on YouTube, go check that out.
Both versions, because
yeah, like you dropped the workout video and then you dropped like the actual music video, right?
First was the music video.
Right? Yeah, facts.
Yeah, the music video came first, and then secondly came the workout of it to show like what led into me being able to look fucking fantastic in that. Just the music video, and I look great. But it's just, it took the hard work in order to get there.
How often do you go to a Hurt Locker?
So like, I mean, these past 2 weeks, that's another thing. Like, don't like get too hard on yourself. Like these past 2 weeks, like not as much as I should. Like
yeah, sure.
But maintain your eating.
Sure.
Well, make sure you maintain your eating. Through that. And we got massive workouts in during the moving.
Sure. Yeah.
Massive working out. Like truly, literally, full body workout.
Yeah. Sure.
So I was working out.
Yeah.
During all that, and that's why I wasn't going to the gym simultaneously while doing all that. But yeah, I mean, whenever I was at it, it was 5 days a week. I tried to go no less than 4, and I maintained that for a year.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not going to be super hard on myself now. As long as I maintain my eating, and now we have the gym on our property too. That if I don't, now I'm probably going to be going down to Hurt Locker probably like once a week.
Okay.
But for the most part, just going to be doing just like lifting heavy. I might get into more cardio.
Oh, okay.
Now that, because he doesn't have any like treadmills or anything.
Okay.
Like that. So I'll probably get into more cardio now.
Okay.
So transition to that. So
nice.
Heavy lift and cardio.
Okay, cool. All right, well, shit, man. Shout out to all of that. I mean, I'm just even trying to jot down some tips for myself and just kind of incorporate that in my workouts. I'm gonna try to start because like I don't lift as heavy as much. I just like do a lot of reps. You know what I mean? With like moderate weight. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
It ain't gonna get you nowhere.
I
mean, it's not. Like definitely like it. You have to be bare minimum with one of those sets. You have to be struggling. like you're doing hard work. You're doing so like it, and it's not like a knock on you. But it's just like none of your workouts have been hard. Then like you haven't had a hard workout, you know. So you're not gonna get hard results, you know. So it's just like for anybody, like you have to be struggling. That's why I know, bro. Running a mile for me is hard.
Yeah, facts.
Like running a mile for me is hard, you know, and I don't do that.
Yeah,
it's hard. Yeah. But I know if I even just did a mile, which for me is hard, you know, that eventually the mile is gonna become easy. Then I'm gonna have to transition to 2 miles.
Yeah,
I'm about to transition to 4. If I ever want to be able to have like cardio,
real shit. No, I mean, bro,
strong cardiovascular system.
We're in the same boat with that shit, bro. A mile might kill me. I might finish a mile, but I'd be dead. Like my body would just be like, yeah, that's it. He ran a mile, then died.
Right then and there.
Yeah.
Right then and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel
It'd
me?
be over for
Yeah, it'd be done. It'd be done.
Luckily, I've stopped smoking.
Okay.
So I feel like my lungs are a little bit more cleared up than, you know, they would have been in the past. But yeah, I'd be hacking up fucking joints.
Yeah. The fucking
run. Yeah. They're like, what the fuck? Hack up fucking Snoop.
Yeah.
It just comes out like,
that's hilarious.
Snoop D-O-double.
Yeah, no, bro. So again, another you know, kind of big part of like the last 2 weeks, man. Shout the fuck out to this Via motherfucking runway show, man. That event, bro, was fucking crazy. You know, we were sponsors and like, you know, we got the whole VIP treatment. They gave us the free drink voucher, and it was, like there was food too, wasn't it?
Yeah, we didn't eat any of it.
Yeah. But I mean, just like, you know, there was food there, and like, you know, the music was a vibe. The venue was fucking beautiful.
30 out of 10.
Fucking insane. Like, I don't like, every wall was transparent damn near. Like, you could see, like, it was natural light, the ceiling. It was incredible. So big shout out to Zvia, Kat, all the models, everyone involved in that. That was incredible, bro. But I just kind of want, you know, your breakdown and your rundown of the day of the situation.
I mean, I already knew, you know, what this event was going to be like, but then whenever, you know, we see our name tags, you know, in the runway section, I'm like, all right, we here. You know, we're definitely here. All right.
That's a shaky flash
on that.
Renee.
You know, touch a shake.
Yeah,
right
there's
there.
some shake.
That's touch a shake. And yeah, like once I saw that, I was like, all right, yeah. Oh, this is over. Like this is insane. This is crazy. It was amazing. Great event. So well ran.
Yeah, it was very well ran.
He already, you know, gave you flowers. I'm gonna give you some more. Here's a bouquet. Like for her to be able to run that event as the leader of that and so smoothly, for someone else who is a perfectionist and a leader and, you know, wants things to run smoothly and has ran events in the past, I know what it takes.
Yeah, right.
And to be able to do that at that level is crazy. And I didn't see one flaw in that event whatsoever.
Me either. Even if there was, I ain't noticed.
No, I'm a perfectionist. There's one thing, and this is so small. I'm a perfectionist, and there was one thing. I just thought the runway seats could have been separated.
Oh yeah, right.
Ever so slightly. Yeah, we were lapping up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Knee to knee.
Other than that, all the models look amazing.
Bro, it was incredible.
Amazing venue. Amazing drinks.
Yep.
Amazing people. It was amazing.
No, bro.
Amazing.
No, bro. That whole shebang was crazy, man. And again, like you said, like anything that seems like it's being done easy at a high level is incredibly, like, it's like if it looks easy, it's being done at a high level.
You either know or you don't know the behind the scenes of what it really took for that thing to happen. Again, I've ran events before. I run this. I run my own life. I run things.
Yeah.
To do what she did is extremely difficult, extremely time consuming, extremely exhausting. It is there is no quantifiable way you could put in the amount of work that it took for her to not only just have that event, but then have it run the way that it was. Insane. Like it's like literally like probably one of the best ran events that's going to happen in Pittsburgh this entire summer. I don't care if the city of Pittsburgh's running that event. I don't care if fucking any of these other big companies are running in their shit. Like, nah, she ran that shit to a T. Amazing.
No, facts.
Amazing. Shout out to her.
The Winter Garden, right?
Yeah, the Winter Garden, that's where they have weddings.
Yeah.
Like expensive weddings, in the Winter Garden. Like it's like to pull that off is crazy. And shout out to her as an individual, and so damn impressive and so damn accomplished, and a lot of it, and a word that she kept using that I realized, she's like, I feel guided.
Yeah.
She said, I feel guided, and you truly are. Continue to do what you do. You have our support, always. I already let her know that. I'm extremely impressed with that woman, and she deserves all the praise.
Facts. Coming up later tonight, Words and Sounds, as we all know, once a month, every month. You're pouring with Samurai.
Yeah,
that's gonna be dope for the first time, right?
Yeah,
crazy, man. Yeah, how y'all feeling about that? Like, what's going on with that?
No, I can't wait. Like that, I would never perform that song. Like if I would perform Dance without one of the songs on Dance without Kenny, only because a lot of it is his background vocals, and it would still sound good over an audio track.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit there silently for a minute and a half while Samurai's part's going.
Yeah, right.
So it needs Samurai.
Yeah, facts, right.
So to finally be able to give that song the performance that it deserves is going to be so fucking fun. It's going to be so beautiful. I love that fucking song. She's going to murder it. Like that's just going to be, I can't wait for that. And even just like in the Word of Sounds, like how I've developed, since the last podcast, it's like, I was just saying how I was going to start working with bands in the last podcast. And then now I've done it, multiple times now. And, it's just been getting better and better and better. And, I've done some of my songs in a way that I never thought could, come that way and then have
Word, yeah.
And now being able to like really like pull, like, you're going to see me maybe even tonight. Hey, Alex Pereira, the trumpet player.
Oh.
Hey, I need you to get up on the stage real quick.
Damn.
I need you to get on the stage real quick. To be able to start 9.8, I need you on stage. I need you for this. Hey, I need you to just hum. You sound great humming. I just need that. And be able to, I did Same Kids, and I was able to have, Kenny, do that. And he is this,
yeah,
like this angelic, just like, I'm just like, where's that even coming from?
Yeah.
Like, is that God? Like, what?
Yeah, right.
What the fuck? Like
turn
that,
around, is Kenny just floating like, yeah.
bro, like rewatching it, like infinite times. Like, I died today, I live forever. Like I just hit that pocket perfectly the way I wanted to hit it, and that was amazing. The Meridian and You and I, and I got to have Shrine come and
Facts, yeah.
do You and I together, and that was amazing. And then being able to do a heavy metal rendition of Hit.
That was wild, bro. Like that. Like, did you want it to be like a heavy metal version, or like is that just kind of like what they gave you and just like, all right, fuck it, like we're going here.
That's exactly what I asked for.
Okay.
Because the song, it's super heavy hitting. So you have to incorporate, if you're going to do that with a live band, like you really can't incorporate that in the way that it sounds like in the hip hop rendition of the recorded version.
Yeah.
So you have to give it a flair. So the way that I approached them with it, I was like, it's got to be heavy metal. I was like, I need you guys to play this in heavy metal keys, in a heavy metal way. And just out the Riggy, he is just and then
no, that shit was crazy.
Just that sound I looped 30 times. Just that beginning,
dog. You know what it reminds me of? Like it reminds me of Falling Off with Duke Deuce and Rico. It's like the way that shit starts off that. Like it's like kind of like in that same vein of like that starting nowhere. Like
she uses a lot of metal, within her.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So it was just like, I brought them together first. Shout out to Nathan's uncle. He was the house drummer there.
Yeah.
And
wow. Yeah.
I came to him and I played the song for him real briefly. All he didn't even know my lyrics. He just needed to know what the instrumental of it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And and the concept that I wanted to go with. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I need, the heavy metal. He's like, oh, cool. I know, guitars. Walk over to the guitars. This motherfucker was the most nonchalant musician I've ever met in my fucking life. Yeah. And which is like I played him. He's like, oh yeah. I think we're gonna run that in E. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah. I think you need a bassist. Here, come with me.
Yeah.
So then I follow him.
Yeah. Right.
The one guy, Jesse. He's like,
oh, okay.
He's like, yeah. He's like, here's the bassist. And I was like, here, play the song. And I was like, huh? And I was like, yeah, heavy metal. Like we need it. I was like, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, like let's get it. So I came up there, and then, well, people might not realize on the video. So this is my first time bringing musicians together quickly. We had 5 minutes. We had literally 5 minutes of practice.
Yeah, facts.
Brought them all together. So we get on the stage. Nathan's uncle's holding the drumsticks, and he looks at me. He says to me, he goes, all right, so like, start it off, with the tempo. And I was like, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2. He was like, no, like really? I was like, oh, like yeah,
yo. Yeah. Oh, the tempo. Okay, got you. Yeah, got you. Okay, let me. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
The first time, like,
yeah. I got you.
Yeah, right.
And then I hit him with. I was just like, I had to like very quickly. I'm just like, how fast? I don't need this. I was like, I said it. He was just like,
yeah,
it's a ring, and then you hear the ring.
No, that shit was crazy. That shit is crazy though, for sure. I mean, bro, even with that small prep time, I mean, it just speaks to the talent. I mean, like that's just crazy, man. That like they were all just gathered, just like, okay, yeah, we need this, boom, boom. All right, that was like that's some Iron Chef shit. Just musically, it's just like, yo, you got 30 minutes. You got a box of cucumbers and sardines. Do something. Like, for real. Like, make a gourmet meal.
Fantastic fucking comparison. Yeah, God damn, bro. No, that analogy was amazing because, like, that's what I want to get to as an artist, where it's just, give me a cucumber, give me the tomato, give me this, and a little bit of pasta, and then tell me, create a good dish.
No shit. But, like, it's even, because you have chefs have like a backlog, like, okay, like I've made this before, so I can do this, but you don't know someone else's style, or like, so it's even another layer of difficulty to that, because you don't know the ultimate sound, like what it's gonna, so like you said, like it's just all adaptation quickly. And like, yeah, I think that was, bro, that was one of my favorite performances from you was that hit rendition, bro. That was crazy.
And that's understandable because it's fucking like, I loved it. Like that shit was violent. It was funny because it's like an open mic, and I had to give people like a warning because like, I was even like, talking to my therapist who was just like, because she asked me, are you confrontational? And I said, I said, I don't want confrontation.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say that.
But if it's there,
we embrace it.
I'm here.
Never looking for it, but if it's served,
I can be as violent as anybody in history, if need be.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I'm here for it. So it's like, I come up on stage, pretty face, mixed dude, it's like, hey everybody, how's it going? So I'm about to do a heavy metal rendition of one of my rap songs. I'm a very accomplished rapper here in Pittsburgh. I just gonna warn you, it's gonna be very violent. All right, hold on. You know it. And then it's like, you don't understand me. Like it could throw them off. I get it, So like, I try to warn them, you know what I mean? And it would look crazy if I were, I'm like, I'm about to be violent, okay?
Yeah.
You understand?
Run. Slap that kid.
Do we understand now?
Yeah. That's funny as hell.
Yeah, so it's just like, it's just funny that's why I just can't wait, for like a show that's mine, where everybody understands what I'm capable of as an artist, how wide of a range I have, I have such just lovey-dovey songs, such slower songs, and such just upbeat, just.
I mean, like, ideally, like, you would want complete autonomy in, like, an event like that, but, like, are you waiting until you have that autonomy, or like, are you on the lookout for shit that like will let you do that?
I'm probably waiting for that autonomy.
Mm.
I can't. It's just like, think of it. 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, the only artist that I had faith with in this city was Che.
Mm.
It's the only one I had faith in.
Yeah.
And now she doesn't make music for the most part anymore.
Mm.
Extremely successful brand.
Yeah.
Extremely successful clothing. She's exactly where she needs to be, as we all are.
Yeah, facts.
You know. But since then, I just don't have anybody else who can reliably bring people out, that can reliably show up on time, can be prepared with the DJ, that can put on a show, that thinks of the audience first. Like, that's how you need to approach a performance. That's what the highest level performers do. You think of the audience. You watch your show from the audience perspective. Before you go up there on stage, while you're curating your... People don't even curate their performance. Well, if you were to do so, as you should,
right.
when you're curating it, you need to see it from their perspective. You need to put yourself as an audience member in that crowd and think, what are they seeing? What and the people that do that, the art form that does that the most are dancers, and that's why they have to have that mirror whenever they're dancing and practicing, so they can literally see what other people are seeing. When you're dancing, you don't see yourself. You don't hear yourself.
Yeah, right.
You are art. You're moving art. And you need to understand what that looks like. Whenever I'm crumping, I'm doing this. What does that look like from here?
Yeah, right.
So when you're a performer as an artist, and I don't know if I said on the last podcast or if this is maybe with Charlotte, maybe I don't know, but or maybe just between you and me.
Yeah.
I realize what a lot of artists are missing is that they don't move. They don't dance.
Yeah.
While they perform, or they don't put on
lost
physical movement. You need to add some type of physical movement. Maybe it's not you. Maybe you need to hire or convince 5 people to come with you that are dancers to move it, and not in like a corny.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
Yeah. I just let me stop before I start getting on people. Before I start getting specific.
Yeah, right.
But like having you have to have movement. You have to have movement.
Yeah.
That's a show. Why do you think we love Cirque du Soleil?
Yeah, facts.
Why do you think we really love Blue Man Group? The Blue Man Group doesn't even talk.
Right.
They don't even talk. They move.
It's all under the umbrella of performance.
All umbrella. So you have to perform. So I just don't have faith in anybody else in the city who. And let me not say that. Like there's certain people who like they can do their thing for surely, like absolutely, but they just don't have the ones that can do that. They don't have the same corporate mindset that I have, where it's just like like in the same like drive. Like I don't have faith that they're gonna put in as much effort as me into doing the show, and I have so much that I have to control and that I'm doing. That's just like, this can't be another thing on my plate, and that you're gonna be benefiting from it. We both need to be benefiting from this. I can't put in 98% of the effort for you just to fucking show up
and be like, oh yeah, again, like, yo, it's lit. You know what I mean? Just like kind of like
do your performance. Yeah,
exactly.
And again, you need to bring people, and even people who are extremely talented in the city, not all of them can bring people out. Especially you also need to understand that, like, dog, if it's, I can name, and I'm not going to, but I'm saying, like, it could be me and 2 other people, that if that is on a card, that's fucking insane. And you need to let everybody in your group understand that, like, yo, you don't understand, like, an MIC performance, like, if this is in the real market, that ticket's expensive. It's an expensive ticket. And you know what I can do, and you know what this other person too. If it's in the real market, that's an expensive ticket to purchase.
Yep.
And you're about to get this for $15. Be there.
All you just got to pay is a $5 cover, and just like, buy some drinks. You know what I mean? Tip your bartender. In some cases, you know what I mean? Like,
bro, what Words and Sounds is free for you to go to.
That's crazy.
And that is an event that happens monthly that is creating history every fucking
Dog,
time.
I was about to say, like, I'm like, definitely every time, like, someone, new will show up and, like, do their thing. Obviously, the one that, like, comes to mind was that one, like, we ran, like, it was just, it felt like a real Renaissance vibe, bro. Like, everyone was just there and it wasn't even always just, singing or, rapping, like, people with poetry. You know what I mean? People, like, like, we're just going up there. It's like, talking about, just like their mentality for certain things, or just like, like different things, like it just felt like a real Renaissance type of vibe where, like, just that's where the creative people who are about their shit, who want to showcase that, you know what I mean, they all gathered and shit. So
Yeah, I was just make sure you're
be good on. Okay, we good, yeah.
Seems like my waves are
Okay,
bigger than yours.
okay.
Be the deepness in my voice.
Yeah, no, you might have a whole baritone to you.
I'm also louder today too.
Yeah.
because you're little
Yeah,
the
yeah,
weathers.
I'm fighting a little bit of a sinus thing going on, but this tea actually, I was gonna say, this was like, I've been sleeping on tea. If you're not into tea, get into tea. That's just, are we?
We take our time because
Yeah.
there's one
Okay.
more thing that we need to get into.
Yeah.
Shortly. There's one more thing that we have to, without a doubt, get into. Yeah, we got time for the one more thing.
Yeah,
And it's gonna wrap it
sure.
up perfectly.
Yeah.
This is the podcast that got released before this one. The
Absolutely.
podcast that got released.
By the time this drops,
by the time this drops, I mean, that might, our lives might accidentally change here at 3:30.
yeah, that's crazy.
Low key. Shout out to Mrs. Robinson, an extremely, extremely, extremely impressive individual. She's extremely talented. She loves the fuck out of her family. She is a mother first. She is an entrepreneur first. She is someone who understands marketing first.
Yep.
With all the adult industry aside,
Yep.
but on top of that, has done her fucking thing in the adult industry.
Absolutely.
Shout out to her. She has garnered so much respect within the industry. She's gotten respect from us, from other local people here.
So well spoken, like, it was like, she just like is very good at, like, articulating her life up to this point and why she does the thing that she does, man. It's incredible.
Yeah, and again, no put down to any other guests that we've had so far, but like, she's, I don't. Is she famous? Like, is that the first word we can say? Is like,
Yeah,
famous?
I mean,
like,
just that.
very well known.
Yeah, for sure.
Bare minimum, very, 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 very well known.
Yep.
On the border cusp of considered famous, if not considered famous.
Yeah, type shit, right.
That we've had on. She fucking killed it, and that was an amazing episode to be a part of. I was so happy to be in that room. To anybody who was in that room, like, you were a part of, something very special.
No, bro, it was incredible, and like, she was just such a good guest, man, because like, she was just so willing to just divulge and be like, yeah, this is what this happened, this is why why we do this, but we don't do that. This is why I do what I do. Here's what I want to do. Here's where I I want to be because I've done this. Like, dog, incredible. Like, that conversation, man, was one of my favorite in a long, long time. Just like, barring, her notoriety, like, like, so to speak, like, just like as on a conversational level, it was great, man. So, yeah, like you said, everyone who was in that room, it was a special place to be.
And us, the listeners, picked up on that too, man.
Oh,
like, dude, it was, bro, from starting, even as you introed the podcast. I mean, before you even said your first question, you said, I'm not gonna go into like your whole, backstory and all this, because it's been talked about a million times over.
Yeah,
we're gonna get right into it.
Yeah,
let's go.
No,
and then from that moment to the very end of that podcast, it was just,
bro, and it's
you went back to the conversation,
bro. 90% of that, bro, was you, like, bro, all I did was just write down the questions and, bro, pretty much just listen to what you said, just like in preparation for it, bro. Just because, bro, that helped me exponentially. Just like all the prep, because like for like anyone who didn't know, like, I would just like kind of writing just like a list of like rough draft questions and like filling them, getting with my kind of like trimming the fat on like some of the questions that didn't need to be there, just like things of that nature, and like, you were just like giving me tips on like how to approach the interview, man. And it's just, I mean, luckily, like, like, you're my friend, so like, like, I just have that access. But it's just, all of that was invaluable, man. So like, I really, really appreciate the time and just the care, you know what I mean, to like even help me in that regard, man. So thank you very much, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it was part of my responsibility as of the owner,
for sure,
operator this. I needed to make sure that podcast was what it was supposed to be, and it needed to be. That was a very important day from us. We literally went from the Sphere runway show to that podcast
as well,
and then went and conducted our biggest podcast ever. So sponsors of the largest runway event that's going to happen here in Pittsburgh this year, for the next few years, and then immediately go into our biggest podcast to date right after, so I need to make sure that the cadence of that day was perfect. It was a perfect day, literally a perfect day. It wouldn't have changed a single minute factor to that day.
Yeah, me either. No, that day was crazy. But yeah, I think we touched on that. Did we hit everything?
I think so. Also, I think people have picked up on it, and then so these past 5 podcasts now, we have now switched over to our enhanced audio. If you've been picking up on that, so our audio now is
a little bit just that much more
better, and it is now perfect. And then starting this past podcast with Mrs. Robinson, all podcasts moving forward will be released in 4K. They're all shot in 4K, but now they're going to be released in 4K.
Oh, yes.
And yeah, we're just
a little more je ne sais quoi for the situation.
Podcast is just improving more and more.
Absolutely.
Everything of what we're doing is improving more and more. That's what we look for in our lives. That's what we've been striving for. And we're just going to, like I always say, keep moving forward.
Keep moving forward, man. Well, there you have it. Episode 87, man. The Mastering Creation in the building. Community content. You get it all here, and we are out. Yeah.
Is that your new sound?